Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. I almost forgot the name a second. It's been one of those weeks, kind of been very full, but very, very good. So glad to see so many of you here. Okay, I'll make sure that we are live. Okay. Well, there are so many people in the chat this morning. I just want to go ahead and start with that. Barbara, hey Barbara, first one to chime in for the day, and she has a great idea. She says that, has anyone used chunky yarn to make the mystery blocks? I am thinking cozy rug. I think that's a fabulous idea. It's going to be chunky and cozy for sure, but if you get a really nice chunky soft yarn, please let us know how that goes. I know that might be a little stressful on your hands with the thicker yarn, but I definitely want to see more. I think that is a fabulous, fabulous idea. Um, we have Love to Craft. Hello there. And Kelly Hart. Um, she says, listening and watching you from Tucson, Arizona. We're supposed to have nice weather and 85%. I'm guessing that's either degrees or rain, I don't know, but we have really nice weather here in South Carolina, where we are outside of Myrtle Beach, and I feel like I've driven from early winter to late summer, and no complaints on my end. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying not wearing, heavy coats and things like that. I haven't taken my coat out yet in Maryland, but I was getting really close with the 20-degree weather. But anyway, Kelly says she's crocheting fingerless gloves and almost done with them. Says my coworker had a good idea of crocheting Christmas tissue box cover, and she was wondering if I was going to cover that on a tutorial. I don't have any plans anytime soon. That's kind of been off of my radar, but it's something to think about. We have Sandra. Excuse me. She says, beautiful day here in Beaufort. It's in the 70s. Yeah, I don't know. I have to check my phone. My phone is busy right now, but I think it's in the 70s here. It's going to get nice and warm here. Good day for the beach, actually. Let's see. We have Alana. She says she's working feverishly on the crochet along. And Dolores wants to know, is my poncho video starting on the 15th? Or have I got the date wrong? No, you don't have the date wrong, Dolores. Let me go ahead and let's just dive right into that. I've got other things as well, but this Southwest Poncho is coming to this channel, to the YouTube channel, on the 15th. That's Monday. And the complete written pattern is going to be, actually it's in my Lovecraft store right now, so if you even wanted to get a jump on it and get the pattern from the store, the pattern always has the video. Although once I schedule it, it might be out of reach just for a few hours Sunday evening, because when I schedule it to go live, sometimes that is not available. But anyway, but this is available right now, the video and the complimentary pattern, on my watch channel. My husband and I are going to be working hard going forward to try to release our patterns where we can, a few days earlier for our watch subscribers so they can get the jump on this. And I did use the Berroco Vintage yarn, which is a blend of acrylic and wool, and I think it's one of my favorite, blended wool acrylic blends. And another exciting thing about this is this pattern is going to be released with 4 additional translations. We're real excited about that. It's also translated into Arabic, Spanish, Italian, and Chinese. So I hope that serves you. I know doesn't cover everybody. Quite honestly, it's a lot of work, and we're just experimenting with those languages right now, going forward, just to see if that is helpful. And if there are other languages, if you are watching me now and you're like, oh, I really want this language, please just email me and let me know what you want us to do, and we will try to work that in as time goes by. But I'm really excited to bring that to the watch channel. It's there right now for those of you who are watch subscribers. And those 4 languages will also be coming, including English closed captions for those of you who are harder of hearing or who just benefit from watching the words go by. Just understand that it just took us a while to get to that point because we weren't satisfied with just the computerized version of this because there were so many grammatical and just wrong words in it, and we didn't want to insult anybody with just ridiculous closed captions. In fact, later on, if I have time, I'll read through some more that I got while I was editing this a couple nights ago. It was really quite funny when I think about it. But I just wanted to make sure, especially if we're translating these into other languages, that we just don't downright insult people, if you know what I'm saying. Um, Not just by showing ignorance by using a poor translation that was generated by the computer, but also, you know, we just generally care for people and don't want to unintentionally insult anybody out there when this, you know, becomes translated into the other languages. All right. Ah. Oh, Dolores says it is about 10 degrees centigrade here in Ireland. And I did have a chance to look that up. That's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit for the rest of us. So that's kind of cool there, I'm guessing. But when I was there in the fall, I remember back in 2012, I remember it getting really brisk because when you're in Ireland, you have a lot of, especially along the coast, there's a lot of moisture in the air. And as you know, even I think some of our Florida friends can understand that when you have a lot of humidity or moisture in the air from being close to water and the temperature drops, when you get cold, you feel even colder because of that moisture. And then the wind really blows a lot around there. So 50 degrees may not sound that scary to some of you, but that can be really cold when those really strong winds start to blow. But I hope you are doing all right, Dolores. Would love to go visit you guys over there in Ireland at some point. All right. Let's see what else we got. We have Freaky Geek in the chat and a bunch of messages just loaded. Hold on. One of these days I'm going to learn how to manage this but better, but not this day. Hey, Hannah. So good to see you, sweetheart, helping me. Hannah's back home in Maryland, so we kind of swapped out places for a few weeks. But it was a great time hanging out with her here for a couple of days. She wore me out going shopping, but it was so much fun to hang with my girl. We have Phony Gal. That's the first time I've seen that. Cold and windy in southern Minnesota. The snow we got last night is not melting. Oh, good day to stay in crochet. Ooh, girl, take care and stay warm. Wow, I cannot imagine snow right now. Although we're in that time of the year, but pretty for sure not going to get any down here in South Carolina. That only happens like once every 20 years or so, or at least to the degree that we have it usually in Maryland. And Freaky Geek says they had high winds yesterday in Ontario. I didn't realize you're up in Ontario. I'm sorry you're not paying attention, Freaky Geek. I've seen you in many of the chats, but just didn't realize that you were one of our Canadian friends. That's cool. We have Tanike says finally made it to a live session, yay! And I'm not sure what's going on with you, Hannah. She's like, good morning, everyone. Well, I say it. I have to check in with my girl. Says crochet done my way with Wanda saying hello. That's a cool little name there. And Alana from Alana says hey. And let's see. Hannah says, Tanike says, good morning from Tasmania, Hannah. Yep. And we have Joe Roxana from New Hamburg. I was thinking Hamburg, Germany first there, but New Hamburg, New York, if I'm saying that right. Wow. And April says, good morning to everybody. It's raining there in Spokane, Washington, and cold thing makes you even colder. You have Archer and Ace from Cleveland. Laura Shelton from North Carolina. Okay, Hannah, I got it. She said she was saying good morning, then it turned to afternoon. Yeah. And we have Harriet. Hey, Harriet, so good to see you in our chat. And Nora and Tammy and Nicolene, if I'm saying that right, from Braunschweig, Braunschweig, Germany. Wow. Forgive my pronunciation, guys. Sometimes I just, uh, you're helping me to become more educated in some ways. Um, and we have Deborah from Utah. And Tammy says, I finished the mystery crochet along last night. Yay. Yay, Tammy. And guys, I am starting to get some of these pictures from you, and they are so beautiful. I mean, so amazing. And I like the way you took the freedom. You know, I always recommend to put the, you know, the squares this way, then this way, you know, kind of like floor tiles, you know, um, vertically, then horizontally, vertically, then horizontally. But some of you just decide to put them all the same direction, and you know, that looks pretty good too. So thank you for sending those in. I have about half a dozen photos right now. So if you want your picture in this showcase, you have until December 1st. And for those of you who are blessed by a hard deadline to get things done, you're welcome. And for those of you who are totally stressed by it, relax. Just send me a partial photo. It doesn't even have to be connected. It could just be a stack of the squares, or just line them up and take a picture. If that's, you know, if that's as close as you can get to done before or on December 1st, I'm okay with that. And I am happily going to include those in as well. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that. Oh, thank you, Archer and Ace. She's contributing to the kitty now, so now we're up to $75, I believe it is, on towards the next $100 towards our charitable organization somewhere, either Rancho 3M or Shriners Hospital for Children. And for those of you who are new to the chat, I usually try to pull off a really silly, usually kind of dumb, but crochet parody song, just to kind of say thank you and just to have a little bit of fun there. I am not prepared with something today, but so if we go over the $100 goal, I promise you it will have to wait. It'll come next week, and that'll give me some time to work on something as well. This has been a wild week for me. Driving down on Monday from Maryland to South Carolina, and it wasn't just a trip that I'm kind of feeling a little weary from, but it's on the heels of a fiber festival. So let me go ahead and just get out my thank you list here. I made a list before I went live. First of all, I just want to thank all of you veterans for your service and sacrifice to our country, and for those of you around the world, you know, those of you who, you know who you are, you have relatives, or maybe you yourself have put your life on the line to preserve the freedom of your nation, or even of the world, in the past, like for example in World War I or World War II. But thank you so much for your service. I grew up in a home with a veteran from the Korean War, and heard lots of stories, not as many as I would really wished I could have heard from my father, but thank you, just thank you. I know it's life changing when you do things like that, and it is a huge sacrifice, and sometimes it's a thankless job. But I just want you to know that so appreciative of all that you all have done, what you continue to do, and just to preserve the freedom here and then around the world. You know, freedom is, as you say, never cheap just because it's free. It's extremely costly, and I just pray that as a country we don't give it up for anything, because once you give it up, you have to fight to get it back, and it's not pretty. So thank you for what you've done, what you continue to do, and we just need to continue to pray for you all. And also wanted to thank you for the overwhelming response on the samples that I offered, the samples from my that I kind of gave you a little preview of what was going to be available at the Fiber Festival in Frederick, Maryland last week. And as it turns out, really all the good stuff that I was going to sell there, I just wanted to offer it to you all in case you ever wanted it. And I had like a stack of packages that went out in the mail, and I just want to say thank you for your support. And that was just a real blessing to me, just to be able to be so busy shipping things out. And for those of you who might be interested, I think what I'm going to try to do is do that about every 6 months or so. I think I'm going to gather up the samples that I crochet, because I'm crocheting more things than I can honestly wear. And I'll just show them to you all and just say if anybody wants it to contact me, because I just think that saves me a lot of time. I don't have to go through an Etsy store. And I would really rather let you all know first. And then, whatever doesn't go can maybe go up in an Etsy store if I have the time for that. But I really don't. And those of you who do Etsy, you know what I'm talking about. It just is a lot of wonderful ways to sell things. But if you just have one thing, it's just a lot of administration. And I really hope you all that got the gifts, I hope that the things that you purchased, I hope that you enjoy those. I really hope that you're satisfied. And if not, please let me know. And we had a wonderful time at the Frederick Fiber Fest. I got to meet some of you guys. It was just so much fun for me. It's been 2 years since I've done anything like that publicly. I don't do a lot of them, quite honestly, because it's just not, I don't know, it's just a lot of work. But I love meeting the people. It was so much fun. I got to meet, I forget her name, and it's probably wouldn't be proper to say the name, but I got to meet a 10-year-old follower, and that really blessed me. It was so much fun to talk to someone from the next generation who is embracing this craft wholeheartedly. So thank you. You know who you are, sweetheart. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi. I really, really appreciate that. And my sister Brenda, she's busy working right now, so she's probably not watching this unless she watches the rebroadcast. She was my hero. I mean, she was as busy as I was, talking with people and trying to explain things, and it was just a lot of fun. I felt like an invader. It's almost like we had invaded a knitting event, because whenever you go to these fiber festivals, it's like I don't even know the percentage. Although a lot of knitters do also crochet, but this is primarily a kind of a knitting thing, and I was like one of maybe 2 tables out of 100 that had anything that said crochet, and we were hopping. We were busy, and there is a genuine interest out there, even among knitters, and it was kind of fun because I had I had the woodland cabled wrap on one of my mannequins, and I had my Aran cabled sweater on the table on another mannequin. And it was a lot of fun because people thought, oh, that's knit. And I'm like, nope, it's crochet. And it's using the fundamental stitches that we already know and love. So it was fun to get exposure, just to show people what you can do with crochet beyond, the granny squares and ripples. And love granny squares and ripples. It's just there's so much more. It's just like, I like, milk and cereal. But when it comes to your diet, there's so much more food out there that you could eat, right? So why stick with just one thing? So it was just a lot of fun to get out there and just expand the awareness of some of the people locally. And let's see. Again, don't forget, getting back to the crochet along, if you have your pictures, please send them to me. And when you send them in, I'm assuming, or please let me know that I have permission to use this for the showcase. If you could just say, please use this for the showcase, or I have permission, that would be great. I'm kind of assuming that I have permission, but I want to be proper about this and don't want to, put something out there that, a picture of yours that you don't want shared publicly. So please give me permission when you share that with me. That would be great. And if you want to put your name on it, I've said this all before, but just as a reminder, if you want to put your name on the photo, I have no problem with that. If you want to put your Etsy store, your .com, whatever, on the photo, knock yourself out. Go ahead. If you want people to go look at your store, absolutely fine. I'm happy to do that for you. But keep in mind, if you're not wanting to get people to go to something like that, and you don't want people to know your name and look you up on the internet, don't put your name on it, okay? Just know that this is going to be posted in a public place. So I just tell you that, just to be aware. I don't have any problem. Again, if you want to put your name all over it, that's great, as long as we can still see your work. But just know that it's going to be seen by a lot of people. So anyhow, let me get back to the chat. I don't really have a huge agenda today, so Hannah, if you have any questions that people are that you're finding in the chat, please send them to me so I can maybe get to those as well, in case I don't get to everybody here. Um, and we have Julie from Louisville, Kentucky. I have so many friends in Louisville. And we have Sandy from Tucker, Georgia. Hey, Sandy. Got a couple kids in Georgia and children, yeah. And let's see. We have, is it Nide from Brazil? I hope, forgive me for mispronouncing your name, but welcome, welcome, all the way from the Southern Hemisphere. That's fantastic. And we have, is it Cozy Dough from Renfrew in Scotland, where it's cold and raining. He says, I'm busy playing catch in with your, okay, guess catch up with your cow, and thrilled that I'm managing to do it thanks to your fabulous work. Yay, thank you. I'm so glad that's working out for you. You know, whenever people comment about it, sometimes it's like, you, let's just say that these tutorials do trip people up quite a bit. So it's really good to hear the positive feedback. I knew that going into this, you know, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. It's intermediate, but it's a learning thing. We have Sandra. Hey, Sandra, so good to see you in the chat. And she says, made it for a while. We have Margaret and Jane Chapman from rainy, windy Massachusetts. Proverbs 31 yarn is here. And thank you, Laura, for your comment. She likes the poncho. And oh, we have Swati. Hey, Swati, our friend from LA. So just had a super long week traveling to Salt Lake City for work. Been recovering with a lot of rest and sleep, but hopefully today some crochet. Hope everyone is well. Wow, I would love to go to Salt Lake City. I've never been to Utah, but I've seen some of the beautiful landscapes there. That would be so cool to do. We have Erlene from Alabama, Pat Dancer. Oh, thank you, Pat. Talking about my blue shirt. I have to tell you a funny story. I was getting dressed today, and everything that I brought, because keep in mind it was in the 20s, 30s when I was packing to come down south, and I only brought long sleeve. This is the shortest sleeve shirt that I brought, so I just had to go with it. I tried on a couple shirts this morning, and I was just so hot. I may have to just go to the store and buy a couple t-shirts while I'm here. But I did not pack very efficiently. I need to, I'm not learning very well. But I thought, you know, you're coming down south and it is getting close to Thanksgiving. It's going to be chilly, right? Well, sort of. It's chilly in the morning, but by the time the sun gets out there, I'm ready for shorts and a t-shirt. And let's see. Freaky Geek says, hope all are well, are well, dry, and warm. Yeah, thank you. And we have Brad's mom saying hey to everybody here. And is it Iris from Austria? Wow, thank you for joining us, Iris. Oh well, Archer Nace says she has a knot in her lower back, but I'm alive and here, and I love everyone. Oh, I hope you feel better. Back pain is not anything to sneeze at. That's hard. Actually, speaking of sneezes, that's how I injured my back one time, trying to stand up from a not such a great chair, and I sneezed a bad sneeze and ended up beyond the knot in the back, you know, kind of rolling around on the floor trying to catch my breath. Backs are interesting things. We have, let's see. Yeah, Hannah says it's 58 degrees in Maryland. Wow, that's pretty warm. Enjoy it, Hannah, because I know you like that because you can still wear your sweatshirts outside, but it's a very comfortable temperature. We have Grace from Northwest Washington State. And hey, Lynn, is it our sister friend here? Praise the Lord for Jesus, Sister Bonnie, Hannah Barker, and everyone in the live chat this morning. Thank you for being here, Lynn. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. We have Cheryl from Wisconsin. She says it's 31 degrees. Ooh, that's freezing. Yeah, guys, all my flowers are gone. Well, remember I've talked to you about my impatience. We'll see in the 31 degrees there from Cheryl reminded me. Yeah, before I left, we had some pretty hard frost and they're gone. Well, of course, 20s. If you're in the 20s, that's below freezing. And yeah, they're just it's kind of like old salad out front of the house. I guess the deer don't want that. But anyway, I need to just rake that up next time I go home. But I did enjoy my flowers this year. They got to be so big. They were like, these are impatiens because we only have shade on the front of our house since we face the north. And these impatiens were like 2.5 feet high and just bushy and beautiful and pink. So super, super thankful that the deer let me keep them as long as I did. They munched them a little bit towards the end and before the frost got them. So, but just a joy to be able to have those in my yard. Um, oh wow, I see some new names here. And they have Barbara Nance in the chat says good morning, a little late, and okay, hold on a second. Oh, we have Arts y Mimos Daros, if I'm saying that right. Um, thank you for being here. I can't read your comments, but thank you for being with us. And Hannah, if you can, okay, Hannah's got some questions for me here. Arlene Watson asked, have you ever done knitting stitch with a crochet hook? Yes, I have. If you're referring to Tunisian crochet, I have done a little bit of other people's patterns, mainly of my friend Brenda Berg, Bourg. If you want to look her up, she has some fabulous Fair Isle Tunisian crochet patterns. She has a book which she has done like entire sweaters, headbands, all kinds of things using the Tunisian Fair Isle style. I have done it. I personally prefer knitting with knitting needles, with circular knitting needles. I find it just more efficient easier on my hands. I enjoy it a lot more, and I like the fabric a lot more. I've done some shawls, and I do have some knitting tutorials on my channel. They're not super fancy. Well, no, they're not really super fancy. There's one hat that does get a little complicated, but again, I'm following somebody else's pattern and have permission to record those. But the beginning stuff is mine, but it's just very basic beginning. But I prefer that over the Tunisian personally. There's another author you could check out if you're looking for fantastic Tunisian, and that would be if I get her name, I think it's Sandy Walker. I get the Sandy names mixed up because I have a couple of friends, but I think it's Sandy. Let me double check here since we're live. Let me oh, I don't need to do that. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, it is Sandy Walker. So if you look up Sandy Walker Tunisian crochet, or just Sandy Walker and crochet on a Google search, you'll find some of her things. She has a leaflet with Annie's.com right now it's just fantastic. It's between her work and Brenda's work. I mean, I know there are other people out there, many who do that kind of crochet work, and they do it far better than I will ever do it. So I am happy to just point to them and say check them out. They're great folks, and again, Sandy's work is very unique and very, very intricate, very beautiful. So if you could just check both of them out, that one and the book called Fair Isle Tunisian Crochet, I think it's called, by Brenda Berg, Bourg. Tell them Bonnie sent you. But I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of that, just to let you know. Or if I do any of the Tunisian, you'll be the first to know on this channel. But right now I don't have any plans. I've just got too many ideas with other things to flesh out first. Thank you for translating that Portuguese comment, Hannah. I so appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. All right. We have JP Trait Dunion. It's one of these. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right, but the comment says, I made a super shawl with one of your videos. Thanks a lot. Yeah, well, send me a picture. I would love to see a picture, and if I have permission to post, please let me know. I try to post as many as I can. It's just the last week or so, I've just not been very busy on social media just because of time constraints and travel and so forth. Um, oh, thank you, Tammy. She's gonna. I think I got yours today. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I got that. I'm just super impressed by all the ones. I mean, I really love it when I do a crochet along and then the crochet along pictures that come in are better than mine. You know, I'm like, that, I guess that's good. But I love playing with color, but I love seeing how you guys do it because I know that um, many of you are just more gifted in that, in doing, working with color. And I just love to see what other people do. And that's just great. We have Sandra from Southern California. She says it's warm there too. It's going to be today, I guess 91 degrees. Is that right? Wow. Um, oh wow. We have Donna from Oregon. Uh, and let's see. Oh, we have SC Cunningham. Says hi, Bonnie. Shout out to that amazing. Okay, shout out to that amazing 10-year-old. I can't even get my 12-year-olds to even hold the crochet needle. Thank you for calling it a needle because I've called it a crochet needle for like 30 years, and then all of a sudden people say, "Oh, it's a hook, it's not a needle." It's both. And thank you for using that. You're validating me. Thank you, SC Cunningham. Um, yeah, and as far as your 12-year-old, I wouldn't worry too much about them if they don't have interest in crochet, and let me tell you why. My daughter Becky, who has, well, two reasons. Hannah is is a super help to me, and she has many other gifts, and she is just not interested in crochet. Not a problem. It's just the same. I'm not interested in some of the other needle crafts. I love them. They look beautiful, but that's okay. They just don't interest me. I would just say give her time. She may never be interested, and that's probably okay. My daughter Becky showed some interest, got frustrated with it, put it down, had very little interest for a long time, and then once she reached adulthood years ago and she attended a crochet conference with me, she actually brought along a couple of her easier things that she had designed and made. Because when she saw mommy doing something, she thought, I'll try that. And she actually got some things published both in Crochet World magazine and, do you know the label? And this is just a fluke that this even happened, but the label on the Red Heart Yarn Super Savers that had a picture of that lovely lady with this very easy to crochet hat. If you look on the inside label, that's Becky's pattern. Um, it was on the wrappers of the Super Savers for many years. I don't know, it may have changed it up since Yarn Inspirations owns it now, but even until recently, that pattern was still appearing on the Red Heart Yarn label. So, I mean, you never know. And I promise you, I didn't push her into that. I just let her see what I'm doing. I didn't say a word. And then one day she just got interested, and of course now she's very busy with her life, and she picks it up when she can. When she wants to bless somebody with a gift, she will do that. And but again, I wouldn't worry too much, just because there are some. I mean, I'm a musician, and I would love to have had all my kids playing a musical instrument. Some of them do, some of them don't, but I'm okay with that now. I mean, it's everybody, I guess, just kind of gravitates towards where they're supposed to be, and it took me a while to learn that, but sorry for the lecture. That's not what I intended, but all that to say is, oh well, maybe she'll pick it up later, maybe she won't. Maybe if you hide the phone. Sometimes I wonder these days if our young people aren't learning as much as they could just because their hands are always busy doing this all the time. Although I don't have a lot of room to talk because I also use that as a tool, um, but I just hope it's not getting in the way of people's creativity. But I'm digressing here. I think I saw Johnny in the chat. I'm trying to catch. Let's see. I'm working backwards again. Somebody has a birthday. Kelly Hart, happy birthday. Yes. Um, and Johnny's in the chat. Hey, Johnny, I hope things are going well for you down there in South Florida. Uh, if you don't have, question, if you don't have shop hops in your area, do you make one up with your yarn shops? I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, Freaky Geek, but if you want to try that one again, I'll try to answer. We have Michelle from Montana. She said, this is a bright spot in my week, depressed because I was just let go from my job of 10 years because I was sick too often since I had COVID. Oh, that's not fair, Michelle. I'm so sorry to hear about that. I hope something good comes of this. I really hope maybe you can get a better job. I really hope something works for you. We have Barbara Bolton in the chat. She said, I made more shawls and bags than I will ever use. I have upcycled all that yarn into rugs, 3 strands yarn, end hook, squishy, super soft. That's a great idea, Barbara. I've had one of those kind of rugs on my list to do, but I just keep getting distracted with other ideas. So yeah, I see you guys talking about these, getting the flu shots and all. I got my flu shot about a week ago, and I'm probably gonna have to get another booster in a little while, but yeah, just trying to stay well. Um, and let's see, I'm going backwards again. Okay, Johnny's talking about the COVID booster shot, yeah. Um, got his vaccine on Tuesday. It took me for a loop, which was weird for the first 2 were fine. Lasted 24 hours. Ugh, yeah, I'm a little, yeah, I need to look into that myself, but I'm, I just don't want to deal with any side effects from that. We'll have to wait and see on that. I did get the regular flu shot though, because my husband made me do it. He doesn't want me to get sick. I don't want to get sick either. All right. So, all right. I don't want y'all to fall asleep here. I'm just scrolling. Oh, we have Joanne from Wisconsin said to enjoy your day. Enjoy your day too. We have clean. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Wow. Is it cleanly? I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing this. She's saying hello from Germany. Um, I'm not even gonna touch the last name. It literally looks Greek to me, but I don't know. Um, I love interacting with you guys from all these other countries. Some of the best times I've ever had have been just learning from new people in other places. It's just so amazing. I hope you guys are doing well over there in Germany. Would love to visit that country once again whenever I can. Oh wow. So JP Trapedounian is from Paros Island in the middle of the Aegean Sea in Greece. Oh, how cool is that? Wow. I was supposed to go to their country in 2020, but obviously it didn't happen. But we are working on maybe a 2022 if things settle down. But well, welcome to our channel. That is just so amazing, you guys from all over the place. Of all the things you could be doing right now. Oh, you're watching this silly person on a YouTube broadcast from South Carolina. Okay, Hannah is sending me. Oh wow. Okay, so Hannah, could you tell Arts and Mimosa de Rosa? Can you tell her that this new pattern is coming out? Oh, it's not going to be in Portuguese. It's going to be in Italian. Okay, we had talked about doing them in Portuguese, but I may need to talk to Dad and just ask to do that, add that one to the list. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sending that to me, Hannah. All right. So scrolling. So Kelly says her Okay, her coworker Stacy threw her a birthday party the other day and bought her a poster that says, "I crochet cute things," and bought some goodies to snack on. And our boss Tammy bought us lunch. Wow, that is amazing. That is so great that you can be with coworkers again and do that. You know, the little things. Well, that's huge, though. Um, that's great. Bonnie Elsa, she's getting her booster this afternoon, planned for today in case there's an issue. Yeah, I have to wait a couple weeks, I think at least. I'm not sure I want to get it right before Thanksgiving, you know, and be down for the count. Um, all right. Oh, we have Roberta in the chat, and let's see. Okay, I'm catching up. Okay, reading Johnny's symptoms there. That's good to know. Yeah, yeah, and that is normal. You know, having responses to vaccinations. You know, whenever I remember getting my kids, you know, all their shots and things. You just expect them to run a fever and to not feel well, but it's not fun when we're doing that. Okay. Okay, Laura Sheldon's talking about. Okay, I guess okay, must be talking about the Tunisian. Yeah. And Kelly Dye says, currently working on your Yule tree throw and loving it. Hope to finish this week. Well, great, Kelly. That reminds me. I should just put a post on Facebook or something about that tree because you know the problem that I face right now is I have like over 650 videos. A little less than half of those are for right-handers, but you end up with hundreds of designs that you know, you see them for a week or two and then they disappear into this abyss, you know, of video somewhere in the, you know, in cyberspace. But still some of those old designs, there's nothing wrong with them. And yeah, the Yule tree throw basically has Yule trees or Christmas trees down the center with honeycomb and some cabling on the side, and there is a pillow to match that. So if that's something you all are looking for, um, you can just go to my go to my homepage and put in the search bar Yule tree throw, or just go to the playlist and look under the texturized cabled throws. There are many videos in that listing, and it is in there as well. And the pattern is free. It was a pattern that I designed for Red Heart Yarn. So whenever I would design something for a yarn company, the design company buys the pattern from me, but they pay the designer the fee so that they can offer it as a free pattern in order to sell you their yarn, which is why a lot of those patterns are free. And the reason why a lot of my patterns are not free is I don't own a yarn company. I'm not trying to sell you a whole lot of other stuff, but anyway, so that one is free, the Yule tree throw, and it's available. You'll probably have to look that up on the yarns. If the links are invalid in that video description, it's because Yarnspirations has been updating their website and some of their links have not been working. So just be mindful of that. And if that's the case, just give it a week or so and then look it up again. Sometimes it just takes them a while to work out some of those kinks. I've noticed that somebody was having trouble finding the Aran Heart's throw for the same reason. Let's see. And Johnny says his throw is coming along beautifully. Note to self, the honeycomb stitches don't repeat if you go back to the beginning of the video. Okay, I'm not sure which one that is, but yeah, okay. Yeah, this can be tricky. We have Linda Jones from Portland, Maine, and she says it's raining cats and dogs. Oof, it's raining a lot. And I learned the meaning of that term the other day. It was interesting where that comes from, but I don't want to bore you. We have Erlene in our chat, and let's see, Gabriella says, Hola. Looks like she is from Argentina. Well, buenos dias, Gabriela. Oh, sorry, my Spanish drops out there, but so glad that you could be here. And we have video tutorials. We're starting to add Spanish for you, so they'll be easier to manage for you, so you don't have to just watch, because sometimes I say things that are important that I'm not actually doing. So sorry to freak you out, freaky geek. She's like, she freaks me out when she scrolls back like she's going the wrong way. I'm just trying to make sure I catch everybody, and if I don't, please forgive me. I'm not skipping anybody on purpose. Um, oh yeah, thank you. Love to craft. She said, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Thank you guys. 71 thumbs up already. Thank you so much. That just helps the little robots, the little bots and the algorithms to do their job and to help grow the channel, and ultimately, grow the love of this craft. We just don't want it to disappear. It's a wonderful craft. I'm standing on many other ladies and men's, mostly ladies though, shoulders from the past. Being able to crochet, they passed it on to me, and I definitely want to pass it on to many more people. And I definitely don't want you all to get bogged down in boring projects. I want you to be, excited about what you're doing. Keep the mind fresh and learning. Michelle's talking about, didn't think she'd be looking for a new job at 53 years of age. Michelle, I am so sorry to hear about that, but I hope and pray. I'm going to pray that this turns out to be even better than you can imagine. Sometimes, you hear the old adage, whenever God shuts a door, he opens a window. But I really, really hope that you can find a place where they know your value and they know your worth. And they will have grace and compassion. I mean, if you're sick a lot from COVID, oh my goodness. I mean, to not have understanding with that is just unacceptable. So you need a better employer, or maybe even if you wanted to start something at home on your own. I mean, I pray that you will be blessed beyond you can imagine, just being free from whatever the situation was. But I really hope and pray that this turns out better than you could have imagined. I'm just thinking on situations in my life where I was absolutely crushed when I didn't get my way or about something, and then later on realized that was the best thing that could have happened to me. Didn't feel that at the beginning though. I didn't feel that way at first, but I really hope that is your experience looking back on this next year. And we have, oh, thank you, Mary, for that reminder as well. Hit that thumbs up. And by the way, I've kind of taken a lot of that language out of my videos, in case some of you haven't noticed. Especially since I'm putting that both on the Watch channel and on the YouTube. But so those of you who aren't subscribed, if you want to subscribe, please do. I really do appreciate that. I just didn't want to keep beating people over the head with that video after video. But yeah, I love it when people subscribe, and again, just pass the word on. I can't do this without that. You guys are why I'm here. Let's see. Freaky Geek says, no matter what you're working on, knitting or crochet, frogging is a chance to practice your stitch work. Well, I was doing some of that last night. I ripped out two days of work late last night, Freaky Geek, and I tell you another thing, it gives you a chance to practice. It gives a chance to practice your patience, to grow in your character, whether you have a character or not. I mean, it might make you more of a character, I don't know, but yeah, I was doing some of that last night. It was about 200 yards worth. So I'm doing it again today. Trying it again, because I don't want to have you be in my position. Oh, I could have gone forward with the design, but it's like, nope, this isn't good enough. Isn't good enough for my crochet friends, so I'm not going to put them in this situation. We have Luana. Hey, Luana, thanks for joining us. And Sandra Geek, she says, good morning from Cuba, New York. Wow. I couldn't think I saw New York. I thought I saw just Cuba there for a while. I used to live about 100 miles north of Cuba down in South Florida. And I thought, oh wow, they have free internet in Cuba. That would be fantastic. But I don't think we've ever had anybody from the country Cuba, um, or at least who hasn't been, receiving the broadcast there. I know I have a lot of Cuban friends who follow, but anyway, yeah, I didn't realize there was a Cuba, New York. Well, I'm learning more from you guys all the time. Um, yeah, Johnny says, is next month already a year for the watch channel? Yes, it is. It means renewal coming up soon. That's correct, Johnny. Yep, it's coming. We'll see if people stay or go. And I'll just go ahead and use that as an in for just to explain for those of you who don't know what the Watch channel is. It's a paid subscriber based channel. It's at watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. And if you want to look at the channel, you can. When you go to that page, hit browse at the top, and it'll let you browse through the entire library. It's just that you can't watch anything there. All the videos, I mean, most of them are the same as what's on YouTube, but I have additional videos that are not on the YouTube channel. And I don't know exactly how many patterns there are, but everything that I have released from last year going forward, where I own the rights to, and I think that's everything except maybe one or two patterns that I've released this entire year. You get a complimentary pattern, a PDF that you can download from the, right from the page there on the Watch channel. And there are other patterns that, that were that were released prior to 2020, that are also there. Now, not everything has a pattern attached to it on that channel, but I think it's a good value because if, you know, you don't have to buy any of the patterns when they do come out. Um, and you get viewing of the videos completely uninterrupted. There are no commercials. I don't have a bunch of spammy things on this site. I don't have any of this spam. The only informational stuff I put in the video descriptions at times has to do with links that can help you get materials for the projects. That's my main focus there. So if that's something that interests you, please check it out. It's $6.95 a month or $69.50 for the year, which is a little bit cheaper if you do the year. And yeah, there's a little bit of social media on there, but there really isn't a lot. I do have some behind the scenes videos. I need to get some more of those put up there for you. But I do have some behind the scenes videos and stuff that's just not on my public channel. And if that's something that you're interested in, check it out, or maybe put it on your Christmas list. If that's something that you might like, I do believe we have gift certificates available. I could check with my husband on that. But if that's something you're interested in and you want to watch these videos and you don't want maybe Google or somebody, algorithm, learning all your information and sharing it with the world. I mean, your information is safe with me. I do not ever sell names, list of names to companies. I get asked many times, but I don't do that. So if you ever sign up for my newsletter, also know that I do have a newsletter that's apart from, I have one that is associated with the Watch channel, and there's one which is, occasionally I will send out an email to my Watch subscribers if there's something that I want to share with them only. But I also have a Bonnie Bay Crochet newsletter that I send out about once a month or so, or whenever I need to let everybody know, some specials or something that's going on that I think everybody might want to know about. You can sign up for that by going to my webpage. You can just go bonniebay@me.com. No, that's my email. It's bonniebay.com or bonniebaycrochet.com. Both of those will get you to my website. And if you go to the welcome homepage, you can sign up for my newsletter there. And if you don't like getting the emails, you can unsubscribe directly from the site. No questions asked. And the same with the Watch channel. If it's something you sign up for 1 month and you don't like it, you can just get out of it. It's not a big deal. If you're going month to month, you can get out of that. If you sign up for the year, it's a little trickier on that. I don't know that you can get the year's refund back. I don't think it works that way, but if you sign up month by month, you can just drop out whenever, if that makes sense. Okay, I think I covered it. Um, okay, Marion, thank you, Marion, for asking. Marion is asking how Bobby is doing. And guys, thank you so much. Thank you for praying for Bobby. I think he's been really encouraged by all of your your comments on the community page of the YouTube channel here. I think he's doing fine. I actually have not heard from him in the last couple of days, so I will check in on him and see how he's doing. Since I've traveled south, I haven't really heard from him, but I will definitely check on him. But he's doing much better. He was in the hospital very sick with sepsis, and partly from the broken leg and the pin that won't stay in and everything. Um, he was sent home or back to the nursing home with oral antibiotics. They tried putting in a PICC line a couple times, and it that didn't turn out so well. So please continue to pray for him. As far as I know, he's back at the nursing home and recovering. So I will check in with him again. I'm usually, in touch with him on almost a daily basis. So thank you for the prompt on that one. All right. Let me see. We're getting close to that saying goodbye time here. But let me see if there are any other questions. All right. All right. Yeah, Laura says, when it rains, I just want to curl into my favorite chair with a tasty beverage and crochet a blanket. Anyone else? I'll join you, Laura. I love it when it rains, and as long as I don't have to go anywhere, it's fantastic. Yeah. In fact, I have one of my husband's cousins. Um, he he had a tin roof put on his roof here in the Carolinas, just so he could hear the rain, just because he loved the sound of rain on the tin roof. And then I think what happened is they put insulation, insulation between the roof and the inside of the house, and they put so much insulation that he couldn't hear the rain. So he had part of the insulation on part of the house removed, just so he could sit in that room and listen to it rain. Yeah, these are hardcore, got to hear the rain kind of people in South Carolina. Um, all right. Charlene says she finished the crochet along. Yay! Just thank you for the challenge and stretching my abilities. Yeah, I was so blessed, guys. Somebody wrote in an email that they had never done cables, and doing this project helped them to overcome their fear. And they sent me this picture, and I tell you, this picture looked like they've been doing them all their life. I mean, this was a beautiful blanket. So, that's such a blessing to me, just to be able to get these out there, and just to know they're not just gonna, disappear. So wonderful. Can't wait to show you guys that showcase. All right, I missed something. Wow, Mabel says, oh, thank you, Jan. Jane, she says, I'm renewing. Yay, thank you. And those of you who got on board last year, remember you had that low introductory price. So if you don't renew, that's fine. But that price is going forever if you don't. So those of you who don't know, when I started this, it was just kind of, this is still an experiment, but they had a really low price last year, but we're trying to keep it, reasonably low. And I thought of another benefit of this as well, because I have to tell you, there's another company, and I'm not going to mention the name, but if I mention it, you'll know it, because a lot of YouTubers advertise for them, and I didn't want to advertise for them, and they couldn't understand why. It was like, we want to give you money. Why don't you want to do this? And then they passed me off to a higher manager who was going to convince me to do it. And I just said, no, I just don't want to do that at this time. And anyway, they were pretty bewildered by that. But one of the main reasons is I've seen some of the listings of some of these videos, and I'm like, That's a ton of stuff. I can't, and I will say up front, my channel does not have 3,000 different things that you could learn. It doesn't have, you know, you can't learn auto mechanics from my channel. You cannot learn how to repair your refrigerator. I don't do videos on that. I don't do videos on how to put floor tiles down, on how to paint your house, or even how to cook. Well, there was one recipe on peanut butter fudge, which you should take a look at because it's really good for this time of the year. but I've seen all that's offered in these packets, and it looks great, and they offer it for about the same price as I do. But when you look at some of those, it's like, well, how many good crochet videos do you have in there? Is it just a, you know, how many really good sewing videos can you really watch? I mean, how many? So all I'm trying to say is just, instead of being, you know, 3,000 miles wide in the content and about 2 inches deep in any of that content, I like to think that the crochet channel is, it's very narrow. It is just on one subject, but I like to think that it's miles deep for you so that it's worth the investment. So, I mean, that's just my little spiel on that. And quite frankly, if you want to learn how to repair your dryer, you don't even need to sign up for one of these other companies. There's some great YouTube videos and they're free. And my son has fixed our dryer numerous times and other things in the house by watching a YouTube video. So anyway, not trying to knock any of the other companies. I didn't even mention their name. But anyway, I hope that's helpful. I mean, if you really want to learn a craft, just one thing, I think this is a good opportunity on the Watch channel, or even just staying on this YouTube channel. But I mean, if you want to learn how to do everything else outside of this, you know, including how to grow grass and everything else, maybe you should check out those other channels. I'm going on and on too much. Sorry about that. Oh, yes, Lisa wants to know if I've shown the poncho. Yes, Lisa, I did early on, but I'll be happy to show it again. I would be wearing this right now. If I was in Maryland, I'd probably be wearing it. But if I was wearing it here, I'd have sweat dripping down my face right now. But this is the poncho. It is coming out on Monday. If you're a Watch subscriber, the video is already on the Watch channel for you with the complimentary pattern. The Love Crafts pattern is up in the store now. It does have the video attached, but when I schedule the YouTube video for release Sunday night, I schedule it like on Sunday night, and then it'll be released on Monday. During that time that it's scheduled, it will not be available. That's just the way YouTube does it. But yes, this is the poncho made with Berroco Vintage yarn. That's the worsted weight. It is a light worsted weight yarn. So if, and this does, okay, and this does comfortably fit sizes small to extra large. Okay. I also believe it will fit size 2X and 3X, but I did not say that in the pattern because it really depends. I don't want to overstate that, but it is, you know, it is very easy to fit a variety of sizes. If you wanted to make this slightly larger, and let's say you're not using Berroco vintage yarn, which again is a thin worsted weight yarn, it's on the thinner side, and if you're using a slightly thicker yarn, and if you bump up to a size J hook instead of an I or 9 hook, like I use the size I or 9 or 5.50 millimeter crochet hook on this. But if you want to bump it up one size, and if your yarn is, let's say you use Red Heart Super Saver, or maybe even Love Crafts paint box yarns, or whatever you have, you know, in your stash that you're going to use. And if it's slightly thicker, and if you bump up the yarn, bump up the hook size just to a 6.0, that will make this larger, slightly larger. And I know that will fit a size, you know, 2 to 3X. Now, one reason I didn't size this with a bunch of different sizes is it has a lot to do with geometry and putting these squares together. You can make these bigger, but what happens is the opening for the neck gets to be too big to where it'll just fall off of you, and I know you don't want that. So so anyway, I hope that is helpful. And thanks for asking about that again. Well, it is 1:04, and I probably need to get going. Let me make sure there's nothing else that I need to respond to. I so appreciate you all joining the chat. Okay, I'm gonna read Rose's comment. Rose says, COVID-19 brought back to knitting and crocheting again, especially with learning new stitches in crochet, which looks like knitting patterns. Yep, a lot of people had to find something else to do, and I think that's been a kind of a blessing from that, and I think a lot of people reconnected. There's a lot of good things that happen because of that, of course, a lot of bad things, but as well. But yeah, you can always find the silver lining somewhere. And again, is it Michelle who lost your job, sweetheart? I'm praying this week that you will find that silver lining like really soon, really soon. I hope that something happens this week and you're able to really see that was. I'm also just praying for opportunities for you too, just that you'll feel better. All right, well, let me go ahead. I wanted to read something, just a little bit of encouragement, something that's a little bit better than anything that I could possibly say on my own. I just get back to what's true. I wanted to read a couple verses to you. I was reading in Proverbs 21 the last couple of days, and I wanted to read some from that. Verse 2, Proverbs 21, verse 2 says, "Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart." And then verse 21 says, and I had notated this several years ago as a special verse I felt like the Lord gave me for my son. It says, "Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the stronghold in which they trust." And this is for me, I think. "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." So I hope that, some words for thought, and I do hope you guys have a fabulous week this week. Hope you enjoy the poncho, and don't forget, send those pictures of your completed crochet along throws to me. I would love to see them, and if you can give me permission to share them in the showcase, that would be fantastic. All right, well, God bless everybody. Bye-bye.